about wax, shatter, all of that after the break. And that dance is related to marijuana, if you didn't know. But anyway, just real quick, I'm just going to touch on this just really fast. Real quick, and I may reiterate it when we talk about the application process. So this is what Seth and I would say, the marijuana application commandments. We'll talk about this later, but thou shalt be funded, thou shalt understand zoning, thou shalt have professional security plans, thou shalt conduct background checks on your team, thou shalt have a local and diverse team, thou shalt choose your neighbors wisely on your building if you can, thou shalt apply on time, and early is the definition of on time, thou shalt have a good architect and general contractor, thou shalt have a CPA and a finance resource, and thou shalt have an attorney. But we'll go through this in more detail after the break. You need a strong construction team, including an electrical engineer, a mechanical engineer, and a structural engineer. We'll get into all that and why that is important. You want to establish good relationships before you launch. And just real quick, one more slide. This one. And we're going to talk about the application in more detail after the break too. So I'm going to hit this in just a moment.
Guys, I'll also be posting this and sending the presentations to you as well. So don't worry if you don't get everything. So we'll all get this. Yes. Everybody who has a ticket will get access to these resources that they're talking about. That's what she's talking about for today.
Yeah. So just real quick, we have vertical integration and horizontal integration. So a lot of you, I don't think they talked about this yesterday, but some people in the room get it. So vertical integration is when you grow, you have your own cultivation center, then you have your own extraction facility, and then you also have your own dispensary. So obviously, if you have a vertical integration system, you can truly build a brand because you control every component of the operation, which is the ideal way. But ideal means it costs more, higher startup costs. You have to apply for multiple licenses, and it does give you better availability to manage the product and the quality because you're managing the entire supply chain. So you're pricing all your products yourself. And lastly, some states require, like on the medical side, if you have a dispensary. If you have a dispensary, you have to grow 70% of your own product because it's medical. So you should, if you're going to have a dispensary, you should be selling most of your own product. That's just in some markets. All markets are not created the same, but there are some markets where you have to grow at least 70% of the product that you retail. And then open versus merit. We'll go into this. It's kind of set up for later, but you have an open application process and a merit-based application process. So like in Colorado, it's more of an open application, meaning if you do the fundamental things, which are very complicated, but if you do them, you potentially could be awarded a license. A merit-based is when they, like in Illinois, they say you have to have a pharmacist on your team. You have to have a lawyer on your team. You have to have somebody that has $500,000 or more, or you and your team have to show that you have $500,000. That's what they call a merit-based process. And of course, as Kurt has mentioned, the folks that write the regulations are determining what is merit-based. Just because you have $500,000 doesn't mean you necessarily have merit. But at any point, that is kind of how they have defined merit-based processes. Just so you kind of understand. And then unlimited versus capped. So again, prior to the moratorium in Colorado, they did not say there could only be 65 cultivation centers. But like in Illinois, they said there could only be 65 dispensaries and 35 cultivation centers. We call that more of a capped market. And obviously, hopefully more states will roll out policies like Colorado, because Colorado, they experience it, Seth and stages, and so they didn't have caps. As long as they did the paperwork and did it right, which is hard to do, but as long as they did that, then you could be awarded a license. So it's a more of a true open market where best man wins, best man or woman wins type of an atmosphere. So hopefully we get those types of policies that roll out